Day number 2 of Chicago Bears training camp is in the books, and let's talk about everything that happened. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears training camp update video, which I'll be doing every single day of training camp this year. The Bears are currently not in pads just yet, so these practices don't matter as much as the padded ones do, but I still want to give you guys daily updates on what is happening. And just like yesterday, guys, I'll be giving away 2 tickets to training camp in today's video as well if you leave any comment. Congratulations to yesterday's winner. Contact me if you haven't yet on how to claim your tickets. I have a subscriber that's giving away some tickets, so thanks to him, I have some extras to give away on my channel, and I'll be giving away 2 more of them. If you leave any comment down below, I'll randomly select a winner again. But let me not waste too much time. Let's just get into the updates. There's not a whole lot of updates today, but there are still some things I want to highlight. So talking about the injuries, first of all, according to Larry Meyer, he said that Luther Burden is day-to-day with soft tissue injury, and defensive end Shamar Turner suffered an ankle injury yesterday that's being evaluated, and cornerback Zaw Frazier has also been excused today for personal reasons. So 3 picks in Ryan Pohl's 2025 draft class currently are not practicing. I'm not hitting the panic button on any of these just yet. It does suck that Luther Burden is missing time. He missed some of the OTA period, and he's missing some of the training camp period as well with a hamstring injury. But I'm not worried about this that much, guys. Like, it's so early in camp, and hammies can linger a little bit, so it's better to be cautious with this and just sit him out for a little bit rather than risk severe injury and have it linger throughout the entire season. So I've seen some people out there kind of question Luther Burden's football character and his work ethic, which I think is completely stupid. Okay, this is just a rookie that got injured. It's not that big of a deal. He didn't miss any time in college at all for injury, so I don't think he's injury prone. He's just dealing with the minor injury that should be healed hopefully sometime soon. But yeah, talking about some of the plays from practice, it seemed like Kyle Monangai, the rookie running back picked in the 7th round, had himself a pretty good practice. According to Zach Pearson, he said that rookie Kyle Monangai had a nice long run near the end of practice with a good juke move, and then Patrick Finley drew a picture of it because pictures aren't allowed during this period of camp. He said that the best thing I saw at camp was a long run by rookie running back Kyle Monangai with the juke near the end zone. No photos allowed during that period, and he drew a pretty nice picture right there. Shout out to Patrick Finley for the amazing artwork. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's good to see Kyle Monangai get in on the action and have a good practice. He's definitely going to be competing for carries in this running back room. I don't think anybody's job is set yet, especially in the running back room, considering how bad they were last year. And all of that was not due to just their faults. Okay, the run blocking was horrible, the play design, the play calling by Shane Waldron, it was bad. Okay, I'm not gonna put it all on the running backs, but they weren't hitting their holds sometimes. They weren't really showing any ability to get yards after the contact, especially DeAndre Swift. Roshan got some yards after contact, but point is, guys, is that our running backs have to be a lot better this year. We hired Eric Bieniemy in the offseason to be a running backs coach to really motivate and get the most out of these guys. And I have high hopes for Kyle Monangai, guys. Like, even though he was a 7th round pick, I do think that in today's NFL especially, you see 6th and 7th round picks get significant playing time all the time in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan finds a new 7th round running back every other year, and that running back goes off for like 1,000 yards, right? So like, I don't think that Kyle Monangai's draft, pick where he was picked is going to matter that much. If he has a good camp, if he continues making big time plays, shows the juke moves off, creates some yards after contact, he could be a candidate to get some carries for the Chicago Bears in 2025. Moving over to the left tackle battle, I also want to talk about that a little bit. So it seemed like today, according to Brad Biggs, Kiran Amegaji actually took the snaps with the starters in team drills at left tackle. Now, Braxton Jones still takes the snaps against Air. He's not cleared to practice fully just yet, but it seems like Braxton is the #1 starter because he's getting the reps against Air with the starters. But when the real practice begins, it seems like Kiran and Ozzy Trapilo are switching off, which does make sense. In yesterday's video, I said that they probably viewed Ozzy on a higher, pedestal than they do Kiran if he's practicing with the starters, but it just seems like they're switching back and forth, so it doesn't really matter at this point in time. Now, if I had to bet money on it, I would still bet Ozzy being OT2 rather than Kiran Amigaji, just because Kiran had a horrible rookie season. I know there was a lot that played into it. Like, he wasn't even supposed to start last year. He was dealing with the injury in the offseason. He was a raw prospect to begin with. He still has potential. I'm not giving up on him completely, but he just did not even look like an NFL caliber player. He just didn't seem strong enough, honestly. He got pushed back way too often during his rookie season. His first snap ever, he got pushed back like 10 yards, it seemed like, against the Vikings, right? So not a lot of good out of Kiran's rookie season. There's still hope, though. There's still some potential, but I'm a bigger fan of Ozzy just from what I saw in college and his physical traits. I think he could be a better long-term option for the Bears at tackle, but again, we have Braxton Jones coming back eventually, so he's probably going to be starting week 1, but if you're talking about the long-term, left tackle of the Bears, maybe that could be Ozzy or Kiran, or who knows at this point in time. Now, switching over to talking about the 11-on-11 drill. So it seemed like, again, it was an ugly day by the Chicago Bears offense. According to Zach Pearson, he said that the first team offense had a pretty ugly 11-on-11 drill early on. The first team 11-on-11 featured Grady Jarrett pressure, reset to get rehuddled, bad snap over Williams' shoulder, incompletion, scramble that saw Williams fall down trying to escape. So yeah, guys, there's going to be a lot of growing pains here with everything being installed. Just like I mentioned yesterday, I don't expect this offense to really be humming for a while because there's just so many new things being thrown at Caleb Williams, and Ben Johnson is not going to settle for anything less than greatness. Okay, he wants like every snap to be performed perfectly under his watch. He wants every detail to be taken care of, and Ben Johnson has so much pre-snap stuff that he does as well, which that's difficult, okay, to install that with a young quarterback with so many moving parts, so many new pieces. So, some Bears fans, again, may not like to hear that there's growing pains, but that's going to be the unfortunate reality of training camp this year. There's going to be a lot of growing pains, a lot of bumps and hurdles that Caleb Williams is going to have to cross, and there's going to be ugly moments like there were today, but I just want to see growth and progress over time. It doesn't have to be straight linear, but like if right now we're over here and at the end of practice we're like here, that's the goal. Okay, we just want to see growth over time, and the preseason games also should help with that a lot. I think Caleb should see a good amount of action in the preseason games because there's just so much he has to learn, and until you see real game action, it's hard to know if you're actually growing and progressing. Real game action is where you see the progress that you made. So hopefully Caleb and the starters get a good amount of time in preseason, but right now they're just struggling big time in camp with all the new stuff that Ben Johnson is installing. And one big difference from last year is that Caleb Williams is going to be under center a lot more this season. According to Courtney Cronin, she said that Caleb Williams continues to do a lot of work under center so far in practice, and that makes a lot of sense because Ben Johnson's offense in Detroit featured Jared Goff under center a good amount of times, okay? Like, they ran a lot of play action in that scheme because they were able to run the football so effectively. So Jared Goff got so many easy completions off of those play action passes. And that's one thing that Caleb did not really do too much in college and last year as well. Like, we didn't really see him under center too much, but I think it's a good change that Ben Johnson is installing because especially for the young quarterbacks, having that play action to sometimes cut the field in half if you're doing a play action bootleg, or just to, catch the defense, make them hesitate a little bit. That can be a big thing for a young quarterback to get those easier completions. And we need to get more simple completions for Caleb Williams this upcoming season. Last year, the ball was on the ground way too often. Like, he was taking sacks or the ball was on the ground. So this year, the goal should be to get the ball out of Caleb's hands faster, to get him more easier completions in the middle of the field so he doesn't have to really be Superman and feel like he has to carry the whole team on his back. Going over to the Bears defense, just a brief update on the linebacker competition. So according to Zach Pearson, he said that Noah Sewell continues to be the third linebacker so far in camp, which is pretty interesting because we did draft Ruben Hippolyte, in the 4th round, which a lot of people said was a reach, but, regardless, like, he's going to be in the competition. We got some other guys too, but Noah Sewell, was a 5th round pick from a couple years ago and hasn't really played too much for the Bears so far because Jack Sanborn manned that 3rd linebacker spot. But it seems like Ryan Poles and the coaching staff have seen enough in Noah Sewell to give him a shot to be that 3rd linebacker. So just keep an eye on this, guys. It'll be interesting to see who actually wins this competition. Noah Sewell, before he got drafted in 2023, I remember, like, before that 2023 season of college football, like, he was actually viewed as potentially being a 1st round pick. Like, a lot of people had high hopes for him in college. Now his last year didn't really go according to plan, but you know, there's still a lot of potential in this dude. He's a brother of Penei Sewell, you know, pretty fantastic athlete, right? So we'll see what he brings to the team. Hopefully he can be anything close to what a Jack Sanborn was, because man, I love Jack Sanborn. I still kind of wish we kept him, but regardless, hopefully Noah Sewell can take over those duties for Jack Sanborn. Sticking on the defense, I do want to talk about the cornerback spot because Jalen Johnson's been missing time due to injury, and in his absence, Nahshon Wright has been starting for the Bears at CB2. And according to Zach Pearson, he said that Kevin Byard said that he's been balling. He had a lot of turnovers in the spring, and Wright has been the DB2 with Jalen Johnson out. So again, interesting that he's getting the first crack at the CB2 spot rather than Terrell Smith. In the past, Terrell Smith got that outside spot, but there is a totally new coaching staff. Nahshon Wright is somebody that we picked up in this offseason. He was a 3rd round pick by the Vikings back in, I believe, 2021. So been in the league for a little bit, but he's getting an opportunity for the Bears because even if he doesn't, you know, obviously he's not going to beat out Jalen Johnson, but like, you know, he has a good opportunity to be the CB4, the CB5 on this team if he's getting so much time with the starters in camp, and also the fact that he's making big time plays. That's a good sign for his chance to make the roster. Another cornerback that had a pretty good practice, it's recently signed cornerback Trey Flowers, who we signed, I believe, a couple days ago. He actually put a big hit on Olamide Zaccheaus today. Brad Biggs said Zaccheaus was down for a bit before getting up. Camp gets physical and it's a grind, but without pads on, I'm guessing this is the kind of play the Bears hope to avoid. So maybe getting a little bit too eager there to lay a big hit, you know, against his own teammate, but that's also the intensity that Dennis Allen is demanding out of these players. Now, you do want to be smart and not knock out your own teammate, but I do like they are being, you know, super physical and rough because that's how the NFL is. That's how football is. So, you know, we'll see if Trey Flowers can get any shot to make this roster. Maybe if he has a good preseason, maybe if he keeps on performing well, there could be a tiny chance, but, you know, we'll see what happens with that. And then the final story I want to talk about is just, you know, kind of a funny story. So according to Adam Hogue, he said that defensive back Alex Cook, who was cut on report day before getting re-signed after yesterday's practice, had to do his 40 up downs that he missed. Kevin Byard said the entire defense circled around him as he paid his toll, as Dennis Allen put it. That is so funny because it makes me wonder if Jalen Johnson is going to have to do like 400 down ups when he comes back because he's going to be missing a good amount of time. And it seems like Dennis Allen is so key and intent on players paying the toll and really earning their way to the Chicago Bears starting lineup. Obviously, they're probably not going to make him do 400 down ups right after he just got back from injury, but it's just funny to me and also cool, like how much Dennis Allen is really stressing this paying the toll. Like he's really being tough on these guys and making sure they're doing what's demanded of them. And, you know, it's a pretty cool thing to see. So leave your comments down below, guys. What did you guys think of practice today? I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is going to be delayed a good amount because I'll be out for a work event. I won't be back until the evening. So tomorrow's video is probably coming out at like 6-7 p.m. unfortunately. Tomorrow is open to the public though, so if you guys are going, be sure to tag me in your videos you post online on Twitter. I'll try to retweet your pictures and videos as much as I can, but if you are going, I hope you have a lot of fun. Leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.